Good morning, students. Welcome back to the class. I think first chapter is over, where you have studied autotrophs, that is nutrition in plants, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and types of heterotrophs. In autotrophs, how the food is prepared by plants, and in heterotrophs, we have types of heterotrophs, right? I think all you have learned, and I think you have studied it, right? I believe you have studied in the whole. So now we'll be going with the exercise, right? So first question, it is about multiple choice questions, right? You have to tick the correct option. They have given you 4 options and you have to tick whichever is right answer there. So first one, in that A, first one, in that A, right? Which of the following is not essential for photosynthesis? Which of the following is not essential for photosynthesis? They are given first option as light, second as chlorophyll, and third as carbon dioxide, fourth oxygen. So out of this light, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and oxygen, which is not required if photosynthesis has to occur? First we will take light, it is essential because if sunlight is there then only the photosynthesis takes place. Then second chlorophyll, chlorophyll is the green pigment which traps the sunlight, right? So that is also helping. Then third carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide is inhaled or it is taken inside by the stomata on the leaves and then it is used for photosynthesis. So then last one oxygen, so oxygen is the correct answer here, because oxygen is given out, right? Glucose and oxygen are the end products of photosynthesis, so the oxygen is not going to be essential for photosynthesis. Then we will see second one, that is B. What is that? Carbon dioxide enters the leaves through. So how carbon dioxide is going to enter the leaves? That is the question. Is it through xylem or is it through stomata or is it through root hairs or is it none of these? So carbon dioxide, how it is going to enter the leaves? Will it enter by xylem? No, xylem is the one which transport water. And then stomata. Yes, the answer is stomata. The answer is stomata. There are tiny pores on the leaves. They are called as stomata and through that carbon dioxide is entering the leaves. Root hairs? No. Then none of this. So the answer for carbon dioxide enters the leaves through is stomata. Is this clear? Then third, that is C. The end products of photosynthesis are, so what you are going to obtain once photosynthesis is done? First one, oxygen and glucose, second oxygen and carbon dioxide, third carbon dioxide and starch, fourth starch and carbon dioxide. So which is the answer here? It is oxygen and glucose. Oxygen and glucose, because carbon dioxide and water combine in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and it is giving out glucose and oxygen. So the end products of photosynthesis are oxygen and glucose. Which are the other options? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Of course oxygen is given out but not carbon dioxide. Then third option what they are given, carbon dioxide and starch. No, carbon dioxide is required if photosynthesis has to happen. Along with carbon dioxide what they are given, starch. No, whatever the glucose is produced, it is utilized by the plant, right? Once that glucose is utilized by the plant, whatever the excess amount or extra amount of glucose is present, that is stored as starch. Then last option, what they are given, starch and carbon dioxide. They are given it in the reverse format of option third. So the end product of photosynthesis are oxygen and glucose. Then we'll move on to next one. That is D. Which of the following turns blue black on coming in contact with iodine solution? So which of the following turns blue black on coming in contact with iodine solution? So we have tested the presence of starch, right? We'll take food sample. If it is solid, we'll crush it. After crushing, we'll mix some water. Then after that, we'll add some iodine solution to it. Then it turns to blue-black color. So once it turns to blue-black color, we confirm that the starch is present in the given sample of food. So for this, which of the following turns blue-black on coming in contact with iodine solution? That is starch. The next one, E. Insectivorous plants trap insects to fulfill the requirement of oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So insectivorous plants are going to trap the insects. We all know that. So once it traps the insects inside it, what it is going to do? It is going to obtain the nitrogen substances present in that insect. Because these insectivorous plants are growing in the land where there is deficiency of nitrogen. So to fulfill that deficiency of nitrogen, these insectivorous plants are obtaining insects, right? So this insectivorous plants traps insects to fulfill the requirement of nitrogen. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. Then last one in this MCQ, F, that is two organisms that live together to benefit from each other are called symbiotic, parasitic, saprophytic, or none of these. So what is the answer here? It is symbiotic. What is the answer? Symbiotic. Because both are getting mutually benefited. One is getting benefited from the other and the other is getting benefit from the one, right? So two organisms that live together, they will be living together and they get benefit from each other. Is this okay? So the answers for this first question, that is multiple choice questions, we call them as shortly MCQs. M multiple, C choice, Q question, right? So apostrophe S is for plural, multiple choice questions. So in that we have solved all those 6, right? Will be given exactly 1 minute. Note it down. Okay, done? Finished? Alright. Question number 2 is write true or false. Question number 2 is write true or false. So in that first one, that is A. What is that question? Carbon dioxide is the end product of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide is the end product of photosynthesis. Is this true or false? When you look at the MCQs, you might be remembering The end products of photosynthesis are oxygen and glucose. That is C. In MCQs, the third one, C. The end products of photosynthesis are oxygen and glucose. So coming to this, true or false, carbon dioxide is the end product of photosynthesis. So will this be true or false? Yes, it is false. Because carbon dioxide is not the end product. The end product of the carbon dioxide is not the end product of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis end product is glucose and oxygen. So this carbon dioxide is the end product of photosynthesis, stands as false. The next one, B. What is that? It is all plants are autotrophs. What is that? All plants are autotrophs. So what is the answer? All plants are autotrophs. It is false. Why it is false, I'll tell you. We know that autotrophs are the one which prepare their own food. Right? There is no doubt. Autotrophs are the plants which prepare their own food. For that we call autotrophs. Alright. Are all plants autotrophs? This is the question. What they asked. All plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs, yes, of course, it prepares its own food. That is different. But the question is, are all plants autotrophs? No. There are few plants which are depending upon other plants. For example, we have in parasites cuscuta. We consider that also as a plant. But is it preparing its own food? No. It is dependent on other organism. That is why this true or false second one, that is all plants are autotrophs, stands false. I think this is clear. You should have no doubt in this number 2. What is that? All plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs is different, but not all plants are autotrophs. So this answer stands false. The next, C. What they are given? Insectivorous plants trap insects to obtain nitrogen. Is this true or false? It is true. In the MCQs also, we have seen the similar type. That is in MCQs number E, 5th one. Insectivorous plants trap insects to fulfill the requirement of nitrogen. So what they are doing, these insectivorous plants, it is obtaining nitrogen by trapping the insect. Because these insectivorous plants are going to grow in the land where there is a deficiency of nitrogen. Deficiency of nitrogen means there is scarcity of nitrogen. You don't find sufficient nitrogen for that plant. So what these plants are doing, they are trapping insects by their root hairs. After trapping that insect, it is taking whatever the nitrogenous substance is present in that insect. This is how the insectivorous plants are obtaining nitrogen. So this insectivorous plants trap insects to obtain nitrogen stands true. Clear? Okay, next. Then what is next? D. Extra food present in the plant gets stored as starch. So extra food present in the plant gets stored as starch. It is true or false? Of course it is true. Because glucose and oxygen are the end products of photosynthesis. So oxygen is released back to the environment by the plants. Then glucose, how much it is utilized, that will be utilized. How much it is necessary for it to use, that much glucose will be used by the plant. Then what about the remaining quantity of that glucose? That is stored as starch. We say that excess amount of glucose is stored in the form of starch. So this true or false? D. extra food present in the plant gets stored as starch stands true. The next we have last one in this true or false, that is E. When a leaf is bleached, okay, listen, when a leaf is bleached, it does not lose its green color. When a leaf is bleached, it does not lose its green color. So is this true or false? Again, this stands false. So while writing in homework, never write F for false and true, T for true. If you write only T and F, then you have to write it again, entire exercise. So instead of writing T and F, you have to write completely. If it is false, write false completely. If it is true, write completely as true, finished. Right? Don't write F and T for this true or false. Okay? So write down this quickly. Half a minute time. Finished? Okay. Then next is main question number 3. What it is? It is rewrite the statements correctly. So what we have to do? We have to write the statements correctly by changing the underlined words. There are some underlined words in this question number 3. What we have to do? We have to change that underlined word. What is actually suiting there? That has to be written, right? So first one. What they are given? The leaves of leguminous plants have rhizobium. Leaves of leguminous plants have rhizobium. Okay, my question is, where do you find rhizobium? You find them in the roots of leguminous plants. So you find them in the roots of leguminous plants. So where they have written leaves as underlined, instead of that leaves, what you have to write? You have to write it as roots of leguminous plants. Do you find this rhizobium in leaves of leguminous plants? No. So you will be finding this rhizobium in roots of leguminous plants. So instead of that underlined word leaves, what you have to write? You have to write it as roots. So the first one, how it is going to become? The roots of leguminous plants. The roots of leguminous plants have rhizobium. Is this clear? So instead of this leaves, we have written roots. Understood? We have to do the same thing for the remaining. So next one is B. What they are given? The green color of the leaves is due to the presence of protoplasm. What they are given? They have given protoplasm and they have underlined it. Right? So my question is, where do you find the green color of the leaves? Where it is present in the leaves? It is in the protoplasm? No, protoplasm doesn't come there. Actually, there is a green pigment in the leaves called chlorophyll. So the answer is chlorophyll. So the answer is chlorophyll. How you have to write that? Instead of this protoplasm, you have to write chlorophyll. So look at the sentence again. The green color of the leaves is due to the presence of chlorophyll. So why these leaves are green in color? Because it is having a tiny pigment called chlorophyll. Because of that, the leaves are green in color. So the answer has to be written like this. The green color of the leaves is due to the presence of protoplasm. No, instead of protoplasm, what you would write? Chlorophyll. So the green color of the leaves is due to the presence of chlorophyll. Right? Next. See. Food is synthesized by plants in the form of starch. So which is the underlined word there? Starch. Food is synthesized by plants in the form of starch. Is this correct? No. Actually, the excess amount of food is stored in the form of starch. Right? So what should be the answer there? Food is synthesized by plants in the form of, what are the end products of photosynthesis? We have what? Glucose and oxygen. Oxygen is released to the environment and glucose is the food. So the answer is not starch, it is glucose. So what you have to write that statement correctly by changing this underlined word. Look here, I'll tell you what you have to write. See, food is synthesized by plants in the form of glucose, not starch, in the form of glucose. Is this clear? Okay. Next one. What is that? D. Chlorophyll traps oxygen for photosynthesis. So they have given underlined word as oxygen. Chlorophyll traps oxygen. Does chlorophyll trap oxygen? Let me ask you, does chlorophyll trap oxygen? No. What chlorophyll is doing? It is trapping sunlight. So instead of this oxygen, what do you have to write? What do you have to write? Didn't understand? See the question. Chlorophyll traps oxygen. Is this true or false? Chlorophyll is not going to trap oxygen. Chlorophyll is going to trap sunlight. So what is the answer instead of oxygen? It is sunlight. Okay. So what you have to write that statement by changing this underlined word? Chlorophyll traps sunlight. Chlorophyll is going to trap sunlight for photosynthesis. Okay. Then next one. Mushroom is an association between fungus and alga. Mushroom is the underlined word. If you have gone through this symbiotic, then you will understand this why mushroom is association with fungus and alga. Actually, mushroom is not going to be in association with fungus and alga. It is actually lichens. The first example in the symbiotic association they are given. In lichens are the organisms which have fungus and alga. One is giving out nutrition and the other one is giving out water. This is how both are getting benefit. So instead of mushroom, the answer is lichens. So you have to cancel this mushroom, the underlined word there. Instead of that underlined word, what you have to write? You have to write lichen. Lichens, sorry, it is, so it is given as is. So we have to write only lichen. Singular and plural, you have to be very careful. So lichen is an association between fungus and alga. Is this clear? Then last one is what it is? Mushrooms show autotrophic nutrition. Does mushrooms show autotrophic nutrition? No. Actually, mushrooms is a saprophyte, because these mushrooms, what they are doing? They are feeding on dead and decaying organisms. So this mushrooms does not show autotrophic. What is the word they have underlined? They have given as autotrophic. So does mushrooms show autotrophic nutrition? No, because mushrooms are an example for saprophytes. Saprophytes means feeding on dead and decaying organic matter. So instead of this autotrophic, what you have to write? Saprophytic. So instead of this autotrophic, you have to write saprophytic. What you have to write there? Mushrooms show autotrophic nutrition. So instead of this underlined word, what you have to change? You have to change it autotrophic to saprophytic. So how the answer has to be written? Mushrooms show saprophytic nutrition. This is clear. How you have to write? That I have given here an example. You have to completely change that underlined word and you have to write that complete sentence like this. They are given first one as the leaves of leguminous plants have rhizobium. So instead of that leaves, what you have to use? We have to use roots. So the answer you have to write is the roots of leguminous plants have rhizobium. Like this, complete sentences has to be written for all these. Is this clear? So it will be given 1 minute. Note it down quickly. Finish, children. Note it fast. Okay, we'll be seeing the next question. Question number 4. Question number 4. Give 2 examples for each of the following. So you have to give 2 examples for each of the following. Main question number 4 in that first one. What is that? Variegated leaves. So variegated leaves. For that you have to write 2 examples. One is Caulis. And the other one is hibiscus. Next, parasitic plants. Parasitic plants. Example, Cuscuta and mistletoe. Then third, saprophyte. It is mushrooms and yeast. Then D, it is insectivorous plants. For that, examples are pitcher plant and then Venus flytrap. Then last one, symbiotic plants. What are the examples of symbiotic? There we find lichens and rhizobium in root noodles. I think you might be remembering all these examples, right? So Write it quickly. Finished? Okay. Write fast. Okay. Question number 5. What is that? Very short answer type questions. Question number 5. Very short type questions. Right? Yes, very short type questions. So in that first one, what is the question there? Name the process by which green plants prepare their food. So which is that process where those green plants are preparing their food? Which is that process? Photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their food. The next, what type of plant is Cuscuta? Just now in this question number 4 we have seen the examples for parasitic plants, that is Cuscuta and mistletoe. So this Cuscuta is going to be a type of parasitic plant. The next, it is what are the plants which eat insects? What are the plants which eat insects called? The answer is there itself. Which eat insects are insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plant. Then what is the last one they are given? What are lichens? What are these lichens? These are saprophytes. These are saprophytes where fungus and alga are there, right? Fungus is going to give out water and that algae is going to give out food. It is clear. So this completes till main question 5. So question number 6 and 7, you try to solve it in rough. So what is the homework is? You have to write main question, six and 7 in rough book. Alright. We will see them in the next class. We will discuss this question number 6 and 7, main question 6 and 7 in the next class. But till then, read textbook and try to solve this in rough book. Okay? So stay home, right? Be safe. Take care of your health. See you in the next class. Thank you.